All right, today we are talking about factorials, combinations, and permutations. All right, so as you remember, a factorial looks like that. So if you were going to multiply, like let's say 5 factorial, that means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And the button on your calculator, you just go through math. Do this with me, otherwise you're really missing out on something that's really easy to do. Go math, go over to PRB, and then you're going to pick the factorial button, and I'm not sure which one that is. I think it's 4 on the yellow calculator. And then hit enter, and it should calculate it for you, and it should give you 120 when you get it entered. All right, so that's what we do when we're trying to figure out how many ways we can arrange something. All right, so for our first choice of candies, we're going to pick a candy, so we can pick 1 out of 6. So we have 6 choices, right? We have 6, so you can pick 6. All right, for our second choice, now we've already picked 1, so we're going to cross 1 out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to choose from. For our third, let's say we picked that one. For our third choice, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 choices. You see the pattern here? We're going 6 and 4, 5 and 4. So let's pick that one. Now we've got, for our fourth choice, we've got 1, 2, 3 choices. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the cookies and cream. All right. Then for our fifth choice, you only have 2 choices left. So you have 2. Pick the dark chocolate. And then for the last one, you've only got 1 to choose from. So when you multiply all those together, you get, and you do this in your calculator, 6, and then go over to math, go over to PRB, pick the fourth option, and you'll get a 6 factorial on your calculator. Hit enter, and you should get 720. Or you can just multiply all these numbers together. It's the same thing. All right, so let's look at when we have a choice. All right, we're going to choose 2 out of the 6. All right, that is another formula. I'm not going to go into the formula that much, okay, but it does limit how many options you have. You're not going to have 720 options like we did in the last choice. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this. We need to get our screen to look like that. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go, and you're going to press the number 6 first, because that's how many you have. That's how many you have. Okay, we're going to go over to math. We're going to go over to PRB, and we're going to pick whatever has the NCR option. I think it's 3 on the yellow calculators. Okay, so you're going to pick 3. So on your screen you should have a 6, you should have an N, a C, and an R. So all you got to do is figure out how you can get that 2 in there. We'll just press the number 2. All right, once you do that, you're going to get how many options you've got. And you've got 15 ways you can choose 2 of them. All right, so let's try another one. I want you to evaluate 12 combinations of 3. That basically means you have 12 things to choose from. So let's say we have 12 toppings for an ice cream. We only want to choose 3. Okay, so you're going to put in 12, go to math, go over to PRB, and choose the third option. That does not mean this 3, it just means the third option. You're going to hit enter. So on your screen you should get a 12, you should get an N, a C, and an R. That's what your screen should look like right now. So now you're just going to plug in a 3. And then once you hit enter, we'll see what we get. All right, and you should have 220. All right, so if you had 12 options and you could only choose 3 out of those, you'd have 220 different ways to do that. Let's try this with the salad bar. It offers 8 choices and you want to choose 5. So when you look at that, you're going to do an 8, you're going to put a C here, and you're going to put a 5 in there. Go ahead and calculate that. This number always needs to be the smaller number because you cannot have something small and try to choose a large number. Go ahead and calculate that out. All right, and in this case you have 56 different options on how you can make 5 different toppings. All right, so this is your practice problems that you were supposed to do. So if you've been absent, you can go ahead and work on those. If not, then we're going to move on. So if we've already checked this, then just move on. So now today we're going to talk about order being important. Order does matter a lot. All right? Sometimes you want to choose a president, a vice president, and a secretary of your senior class. That's coming up probably for your classes. It's also coming up in a general election. All right, so you want to choose 3 out of 5. So order does matter. You want to pick one person to be the president, and then you want to pick another specific person to be something else. So we're going to use this notation. We're going to use what's called a permutation. We're going to pick from 5, we're going to choose 3. Now it's the same thing. You're going to put in a 5 in your calculator. You're going to go over to math. You're going to go over to PRB. And you've probably seen this a few times. I think it's the second option. And you're going to get the P. I'm not sure, but I think it's the second option. All right, so whatever option it is, you want something that's got the N, P with the R on it. Let me go and check mine. All right, so my calculator is the second option. I'm not sure what the yellow calculator does, but you want the NPR. So now you've got, if you press the right buttons, you've got a 5, you've got an N and a P and an R, and all you need to do is get that 3 in there, so press your 3. All right, once you work it all out, your answer should be 60. So you've got 60 different ways you can choose a president, a vice president, and a secretary. All right, let's try another one. 7 boats are entered in a race. How many ways can they be placed? All right, place. Place starts with P. All right. Same thing if we go back. President starts with P. So usually you're going to get a word that starts with P to help you figure it out. So go ahead and calculate that. All right, so we put in 7. We go over to math. Go over to PRB. Choose your option that's going to give you that. All right, I think it's 2. Then you're going to press a 3 because the 7 goes here, the 3 goes here. And you should get 210 ways in which first, second, third place is arranged. Okay, placement, P. All right, let's try another one. So how many ways can a batting lineup be made from a baseball team? All right, so batting lineup, yeah, it matters. You want the better players toward the front. All right, so you've got 16, and you want to choose 9. All right, we're not choosing a group. We want them in a certain order. So we're going to do 16, and then we're going to place 9 of them. All right, I'll give you a minute to calculate. Okay, so when you do that, you do 16, you go math, you go over to NUM. No, not NUM. I keep saying NUM because that's absolute value. You go over to PRB, right? PRB, probability is what we're doing. All right, choose your option that you're going to do, but then you got to put in the 16 goes there. All of this goes with that, okay, and then the 9, put in a 9. All right, it is a huge number. There are a huge number of ways. The number should start with 4151, 347, and some more numbers after that. Okay, so it's a big number. You can line them up in a lot of different ways. All right, so here's your review or your summary. All right, factorials look like that. All right, that's just when you're arranging, no order matters. Combinations look like this. All right, you're going to choose, you're going to do committees, you're going to do combinations, you choose. Look, they all start with C. And then permutations look like this. And you want an arrangement, you want order is important. Placement, precedent, purpose, okay, when order matters and what they're going to be doing matters. You choose that. Notice the placement, precedent, all that, whatever you're choosing, you'll get a hint by the letter, all right? So what I want you to do, let's go check these. 4 books are pulled at random from a shelf. What are we going to do? Is it going to be a combination, a permutation, or a factorial? Okay, random from a shelf. Let's say that the shelf has 20 books on it. Okay, all right, randomly pulled. You want to choose 4 out of 20. You're going to choose a combination. So you're going to do this. Okay. A group of 10 students seated in an auditorium, how many ways can they be seated in a row? So you got a group of 10. We don't really know. It doesn't really matter what order they go in. They just want to be seated in the row. So we're going to do a factorial. We're going to do 10 factorial there. All right, here we go. 5 students selected from 12 to serve on a committee. Now wait a minute. They have a specific responsibility. So committee goes out the window. They have a specific responsibility, so order matters. So we're going to do permutation. We're going to put the 12 on the left and the 5 on the right, so that because we're choosing 5 from 12. All right, let's go. Here's your homework or your assignment for class. I just want you to calculate each of these and turn it in today. And then when you're done, you can log on to iExcel. Here's your username. It's just your same username that you always use. It's just that instead of lcs.net, it's Lynchburg City. Same password you always use. I want you to do 10 problems on cc.4. If you're logged in, you don't have to turn in any paper. It comes to me electronically. All right, have a great day.